Okay, let's go through an analysis where we're looking at what happens when the price of a good increases, as we all have experience with increasing inflation over the last 4 years. And so in this case, just like before, the very first job we have is to change the budget constraint. So we need to develop BC1. And so to do that, we basically just say, if I spend all my money on dukes, do I get any more dukes when the price of pizza has increased? No. When I spend all my money on pizza, however, in a world with both pizza and dukes, then we find that the price of pizza increasing means that if I spend all my money on pizza, I can't get as many slices as I got before. And so this indeed does rotate the budget constraint in. And so I'm going to draw it in such a way that it actually slices through P naught, meaning the price of pizza went up, but not so much that I can't even afford what I was consuming before. And so I started off with point A U naught on BC naught, and now I've developed that the price of pizza going up has rotated this budget constraint in, and we're on BC1. If the rotation or shift in budget constraints is something that you're struggling with, make sure you check out that video on how budget constraints move with market shocks. So in this case, we have to look at where's our new consumption amount going to be. When we started on A, that was observable. Where are we going to end up? And the answer has to do with the substitution and income effect. So just like the videos we did on when prices decrease, we're going to use the exact same set of rules, the exact same prompts to get through this analysis. So the substitution effect is just the law of demand in action. So I'm going to get to my green marker and ask the same questions. Did the price of pizza go up or down? It went up. What's the law of demand tell me to do? It tells me to consume less pizza when the price increases. And so I need to reflect that by finding BC sub C, that compensated budget constraint. So I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to always line it up with BC1 no matter what market I'm in. And so I'm going to take my ruler, line it up with BC1, and I'm going to start shifting until I come to a point of tangency. That's really important, not intersection, but tangency with U naught. It has nothing to do with point A. In fact, it won't even touch point A. So it looks like that happens right about here for me. And so I'm going to draw that dotted green line. And BC sub C is parallel to BC1. Point C is always on U naught. And it always matches my prediction. So let's see, did I do that? I thought that the quantity would decrease, and from P naught to PC, my consumption choices lead to less consumption of pizza. So yes, I passed all my tests. So now what I have to do is analyze the income effect. Now, first I asked, did prices increase make me richer or poor? Well, we've all experienced this with inflation that we all feel poor when prices increase. So I'm poor. Is this a normal or inferior good? For that, you have to look at what the data presented to you looks like. Is the relationship between income and consumption positive or negative? If the angle curve is upward sloping, that means the relationship is positive. If the angle curve is downward sloping, it means the relationship is negative. So in this case, we're going to say it's positive and this is a normal good. So from point C, point A doesn't exist anymore, just like BC naught doesn't exist anymore. Do you consume more or less normal goods? So from point C, when I'm poor, I consume less normal goods. So my income effect continues to walk in this direction. Now you have to draw an indifference curve that's tangent to BC1, but has the same shape as U naught. And so your realm of possibilities is probably somewhere between here and here, right? If you, maybe a little bit further down. I'm going to draw my point B right about here. And from P sub C to P1, P naught and P1 are what's observable in the marketplace, is a result of the income effect. And so I'm going to draw an indifference curve that's convex to the origin, downward sloping, and the same shape as U naught. And the consumer in this case is worse off when this price increase has happened because U0 is greater than U1. Now let's look at, in the next video, what happens when there's a price increase, but this is an inferior good, something like Top Ramen. So let's go through that analysis next.